Oh, hey, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how I turn Cyarine's 2D character into 3D. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Jason Chan, and I am a 3D character artist from South Africa. And yeah, I am from Africa, as you can see. Yeah, I'm obviously African. Alright, fine. Maybe I can prove it. I'll say something in Xhosa or Afrikaans. Eish. Molweni, ikamalam ngujesin, ndithetha kancinci. Or in Afrikaans, goeiemôre, ek weet nie Afrikaans nie. You can find my socials on ArtStation, Twitter, or Instagram. My username will always be NinJasonChan. Well, I had to stand out because someone on Riot Games also shares the same name as me. If you don't know who Cyarine is, well, she's quite well known on Instagram with over 1.7 million followers. I really like her characters, so why not? Why not do a character of hers? Let's go! Alright, let's get started. As you can see, every 3D character starts off from a basic sphere. Now this is basically what you'll find in every single YouTube tutorial. This character did not follow the exact procedures of how you would create a character in game, but I hope you can still learn something from this breakdown, because I did not re-topologize this character properly, nor did I bake every single piece of the character into one UV map, which is what you're meant to. Well, that is if you want to make video game characters, of course. I made this character purely for personal studies and nothing else. I highly recommend you to check out other YouTube tutorials because this is only my first video and I think I don't have enough experience teaching. Due to my short attention span, I have cut this video short because I don't find long time-lapse videos educational. I normally just skip right to the end and see the final product. And besides, I have lost most of the recordings of this project, so this is all I can show you. The blockout phase is quite simple. Just make sure that the shapes are right and that the silhouettes read wall for a character that is meant to be stylized. The whole point of this was to make the shapes appealing and readable. You don't want to create odd shapes that can become tricky when you want to re-topologize it later on in the stage. After blocking it out, I normally do a Dynamesh to merge all the objects together so I can sculpt the entire character as a whole. It's really helpful that ZBrush has this ability so that anyone can sculpt on a computer just like how they would sculpt with clay. For the sake of creating a tutorial, I have recorded the entire process from scratch, which is sculpting from a sphere. But normally in the gaming industry, I would start off with a base mesh, so that means a default human body. It's a method of creating characters faster, because, for example, no one is going to create fingers every time they create a character. That will be insane. This method is not cheating at all. As long as you understand the fundamentals of human anatomy, as long as you have a knowledge of what you're doing, it would be cheating if you're a beginner and you're starting off with a base mesh. That just means you're inexperienced and you're trying to take shortcuts. Art requires practice, and downloading a base mesh and calling it a day wouldn't really help you in the long run. And now onto the re-topologizing phase. Well, I don't really think anyone wants to see this part of the video, so I used a previous model for the base topology and just warped it around the character. It's a really tedious process. Basically, it means that the character needs a clean quad topology, just like this character that I've made for a game. In this video, I will not be covering how hair is made in Blender, because it deserves its own tutorial. And to be honest, I have learned how to create polyhair from another YouTube tutorial, which I will link in this video. There are three types of hair that you can create in 3D, mainly particle hair, hair cards, and polyhair. polyhair being the easiest because they're basically just polygons that you can easily manipulate compared to hair cards and particle hair. And here's the posing phase. This is the pose that I have chosen after multiple researches online. I did not really follow the concept pose because I wanted to find a pose that was more dynamic. Using a rigging system, I was able to pose the character freely without any hassle. But this comes at a price because on a later stage, you'll see me fixing some of the errors that Blender's rigging has made because I didn't really weight paint the character so that the joints, you know, fold the way it should be. There are a lot of artifacts by using this step, but this is a better way of posing your character because it is non-destructive compared to how you would do it in ZBrush. To choose a better pose, I normally render out multiple different poses and pick the one that is best for my character. If you can't find a reference, the best way is to take a selfie. After choosing the pose, I bring the finalized one back into ZBrush for further polishing, as I've mentioned previously. This is just really brain dead fixing. Polishing stage is just trying to make everything look pretty. It's a very logical stage of polishing your character, making everything look okay. Nothing looks squaff, nothing looks skew. Mainly focusing on joint areas so that the bending parts don't look weird. This stage kind of requires a good understanding of human anatomy and how your joints work. Creating a character requires a lot of time, so please remember to take a break, maybe step away from this character for 1 or 2 days, refresh yourself, and come back with a strong start, because that is probably a key ingredient in creating an appealing character. Here's a quick time lapse of how I did the shoes. It's nothing different from what I showed before. Basically, it's just defining the shape of the shoe, then using that whole block of shoe structure to extract bits and pieces out of it to make the details, and then I use the ZBrush's Dynamesh to make some cleaner topology, bring it into Blender to fix it even further, and then render out inside Blender. I'll play this clip for just a bit. Enjoy my shoemaking. And there we have it. Alright, so here's the basic wireframe of the character. Just checking out the entire topology, making sure that there's nothing really wrong with it, nothing that's standing out. Here's a GIF of my entire post-production process. And there you have it, folks. Thanks for sticking right to the end. I hope you've learned something from my video. And thank you, Cyarine, very much for allowing me to sculpt this amazing character. Anyway, you know where to find me on in social media. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye.